The U.S. Defense Department has released dramatic footage of views inside Hurricane Melissa. According to Associated Press, the military said a U.S. Air Force Reserve crew from the 53rd Weather Reconnaissance Squadron, known as the Hurricane Hunters, flew multiple passes through Melissa on Monday to collect critical weather data for the National Hurricane Center. Hurricane Melissa intensified into a Category 5 storm Monday as it drew closer to Jamaica, where forecasters expected it to unleash catastrophic flooding, landslides and widespread damage. At that strength, it would be the strongest hurricane to hit the island since record-keeping began in 1851. Blamed for 7 deaths in the northern Caribbean as it headed toward the island, Melissa was on track to make landfall Tuesday in Jamaica before coming ashore in Cuba later in the day and then heading toward the Bahamas. It was not expected to affect the United States.
Es el cierre de la cuenca del Cauto, tiene la capacidad de almacenar las aguas que provienen desde las provincias de Santiago de Cuba, Holguín, Las Tunas y desde nuestra misma provincia.
La defensa civil será garantía ante todo de preservar la vida. Desde Granma, Sheila Aguilera, para el canal cubano de noticias.
De las medidas preventivas y otras labores para proteger a la población y minimizar los daños que pueda causar el huracán Melissa.
Hemos hecho una serie de actividades que tienen que ver sobre todo con el drenaje de los canales, porque nuestro municipio recibe las aguas de Urbano Noris, de Báguano, y al final es el que filtra los canales y ocurre la inundación en la zona de defensa de Maceo. El 45% de la población de Cabo Punta debe estar evacuada por la afectación que deben tener las lluvias.
Centros de la educación general y la superior en la provincia de Las Tunas para la protección de estudiantes, de los recursos y la infraestructura.
Acogerá aproximadamente 260 personas. Eso no indica que puede ser el límite, puede tener un espacio un poco más abarcador. todo lo que permita y que esté previsto evacuarse, pues nuestras puertas estarán abiertas.
Y las embarazadas con riesgo a término que viven en lugares proclives a inundación y otros centros sanitarios de toda la provincia. Desde Las Tunas, Orlando Cruz y Gia.
Yeah, it's a weird atmosphere here, I would say. It's people are sort of staying calm, but obviously there's an undercurrent of panic. We, as Brits, aren't really used to this kind of thing. Yeah, we're all a bit nervous, but the hotel are doing everything they can. We, as you say, we go into lockdown about 7 p.m. It was actually supposed to be this morning, but because the storm's moving quite slowly, they delayed it. So yeah, the hotel they've given us lots of advice about what to do, barricading the windows, trying to put mattresses up against them. As an emergency, you know, diving into the bathroom or into the shower if it gets really bad and the windows blow out. You know, no circumstances going outside or opening the windows. I mean, a lot of stuff is kind of obvious, but again, for us Brits here, it's unprecedented. And also the aftermath, of course. Like, you know, what do we expect tomorrow afternoon? The storm is supposed to have passed by then, but, you know, what will be the state of the island and the people here? So that's what we're all really worried about. And of course, ourselves. I have 2 small kids. So, yeah, not an ideal holiday, let's put it that way. Yeah, I mean, from what we've seen, again, like you say, from the local news and watching the Weather Channel and things like that, it feels like the government are doing what they can. I mean, there's been a lot of evacuations. I saw in the news they evacuated disabled people, pregnant women first, and got them sort of sheltered. You know, more at-risk people, which is obviously really important.
With Melissa, what is happening is that part of the Atlantic is at the moment very warm. The sea surface temperature there is around 30 degrees, which is 2 or 3 degrees above normal. And not just the top layer of the sea, but layers below the top level are also quite warm. At the same time, the atmosphere is very conducive because there is this kind of wind resistance for the development of Melissa. And if you have a warm sea, no resistance in the atmosphere, and no resistance from the kind of land areas around by, then that is a green signal for any hurricane like Melissa to intensify rapidly. See, global warming is doing one basic thing, which is that it is increasing the air temperature and it's also making oceans warm. And because we are dumping quite a lot of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, this is how, oceans are also getting warmer. And if an ocean is very warm, like I said, it is going to just supply a lot of energy to any tropical storm or a hurricane over the ocean.
So over 90% of the extra heat that we trap in our Earth system goes into the oceans. And what that means is that our oceans are warming up. It plays out in many different ways, one of them being more fuel for these storms to intensify more rapidly. And that is what we're seeing with climate change. However, when this storm suddenly goes from being a Category 1 to a Category 4 or 5, in the course of one day, that changes everything you need to do to prepare for these coastal communities. And some of them you can't evacuate everyone in a day, especially islands when you have to fly people out. So our risk is dramatically changing with climate change for these coastal storms and these coastal communities.